Good morning, Void. How are you guys doing? Okay, so just trying to review what I watched last night right away. When I watch more things today, my backlog doesn't pile up because I'd like to really keep getting pushing through my collection, and it's even if I do like one a day, it's still gonna take more than a year to do probably. So anyway, I'm gonna try to keep plugging along as best I can. Now, Automaton Transfusion. Haven't heard of this movie? I don't blame you. Now, this one came out circa 2006, and as you see right there, one of the best zombie films in decades. And from Bloody Disgusting. Wow. Considering that time, there was a zombie movie every other day, that's a bold claim. Especially from a movie that isn't very good. Now, if you've been watching my show for a while, you know I'm pretty damn lenient on films. I rarely give things poor reviews, unless they are actually really bad. If it's just something I don't care for, I'll usually still try to say something positive about it. Well, I'll still say something positive about it, but the gore effects are okay. They're actually fairly good in several scenes. That's all I got. Yeah. This one feels less like a movie and more like a special effects demo reel. Okay, so it's a zombie flick. And they're using fast zombies. And later on they mention that the zombies can think also. They don't really show any evidence of this except for maybe in one scene where the players walk through an area where a bunch of bodies are just lying down, and after they get inside, then they all get up like the zombies maybe laid a trap. At first, you're wondering like, are the zombies sleeping? Is this like a 28 Days Later sort of thing? No, they're definitely corpses. There's a lot of gore on them. That said, the zombie designs, despite the gore effects being good, are lackluster. Almost all of them are just wearing different colored t-shirts. I mean, yeah, the outbreak takes place at like a school, but when most of the zombies up front just have white t-shirts on just so you can see better blood sprays on them, and like two characters right next to each other wearing white t-shirts, it's like, who wears just a white t-shirt? Really? Especially at high school. It doesn't happen. Okay, so the plot to Automaton Transfusion, and I use that term lightly, we follow a group of friends at high school. Now, our main character, his name I've already forgotten, and I don't even want to bother taking the time to look it up on IMDb. So, we got our main kid, who's got a popular girlfriend. She is going to a party where everybody's going to, but he's not in the party crowd, so he's going to go to some music show with his two homeboys. Now, so that's pretty much our plot. Essentially, they go out to the show, and on the way, while driving, realize that there's no cars on the road, which is odd. Which is an interesting little build-up set point. I do appreciate them trying something there. Then, when they get there, they're attacked by zombies. They make it into the bar, and are attacked by zombies. Meanwhile, our girl is at the party, and the party gets attacked by zombies. Now, the rest of the movie is pretty much them deciding, okay, we have to get to X location. Be it his dad's house, be it the party, be it the school, be it the hospital. And the characters argue whether they should stay or go. They go. Likely one of them dies in the crossing, and then they get to the next point, repeat the debate, and it's pretty much just zombie chase scene after zombie chase scene with no development between. With the exception of when they get to the school, which is after several stops, they then reveal what's going on with the zombie plague. It was a military thing. They were designing zombies, and they rushed the trials, and now this outbreak happened. Then they know if they get to the hospital, they might be able to find, or the morgue at the hospital, they might be able to find something to prevent them from getting the disease. And then So that's pretty much all the development that happens between the scenes as they went to the hospital. Okay, so the movie is an hour and 15 minutes. 75. Very short. So, you know how they end this thing? To be continued. Yeah, that's right. When we're down to 2 characters, they pretty much encounter some people in masks that seem to have taken over the hospital, get chased back outside, get a wave of zombies coming at them. They're debating whether to try to go back in, go back out. They ready their weapons, and to be continued. The movie doesn't even have an ending. They have the gall to not even conclude the film. Well, the paper thin plot that they have, they couldn't think of how to end it. That said, they did pretty much immediately a Automaton 2 went into pre-production, at least according to IMDb, which has not seen any movement. So we are now about 17 years later, almost 18, with no conclusion. So if you're going to do a to be continued, you better be willing and able to actually back that up. Otherwise, it looks even worse on your movie. But if your movie is just a collection of gore effects, don't expect it to do well enough to greenlight a sequel. Yeah. This one's bad. I'm giving it 2 MacGuffins, and that's just because the gore effects bump it up from being 1. Because I don't do zeros, so that little bit kicked it up a little bit. Automaton Transfusion is more of Automaton Confusion. What little is there doesn't add up to anything, and it's just pointless. It's just zombie violence for the sake of zombie violence. The character setups almost do something with. The characters are actually trying to develop, but they don't. I mean, it was clear that each character had personalities. It's just they didn't give them time to actually talk, to develop those personalities. And the acting is also not good. Some of the line deliveries are questionable. Every once in a while, a line will be entertaining enough to get that's smart too. But mostly, no. The deliveries are terrible, and it has one of the clunkiest bits of foreshadowing I've ever seen. Where a guy's being bullied, and it just says, I wish I could put a chainsaw through his face. Later on, that guy is running around with a chainsaw, so yeah, okay, haha. And you do actually see him put it through someone's face, but they don't actually even make it clear it's the same guy. It is, but they don't telegraph other than him just shoving a chainsaw into a zombie's face. It's not only do you have clunky foreshadowing, you don't even pay it off right. Automaton Transfusion is not good. I had gone into rewatching this one, remembering the effects are good, and I was hoping that would carry me through, but it didn't as much as I was hoping. But at least it was short. I would have forgiven it for being 10 minutes longer if they wrapped it up. I've talked about this movie more than it deserves. See you guys later.